my YouTube friends. I have been away for quite a while. I've missed you guys. I just want to come back and give you all a very lengthy update. This is really going to be a lengthy update. Yes, I have quite a bit to tell you all. A lot has been going on with me. I haven't been sick. I've been feeling good, but a lot has been going on. So I made some notes. First of all, I want to say thank you all to all my new subscribers, and thank you all for all of my subscribers who have been staying with me even though I haven't been updating you all. I have my notes here. I didn't want to forget anything. Yeah, I have front and back notes that I wanted to make sure I covered a lot. First of all, I wanted to be able to say I had been using YouTube Capture to do my videos, and YouTube Capture stopped updating the app, so I didn't have anything to make videos. And then I upgraded my phone, which now I'm using Clips to do this video. And I didn't know how to use Clips. Didn't feel like trying to learn how to use Clips. And so now I'm just using Clips for the first time. So I'm hoping that this is working properly. So we're going to see. Anyway, okay, so let's get started. So I had my neurology appointment my neurology appointment was scheduled for April 6th. It was my 6-month checkup, which got canceled. And it was canceled because my neurologist had to go out of town. And so I had my 3-month labs that was due, and I try to do my labs around the time that I have my checkup, so therefore we can discuss my labs at time of appointment. So I had done my labs, and my neurologist had went out of town at the same time, and so by the time I had my rescheduled appointment, which was the following Friday on the 13th, when I went in for that appointment on the 13th of April, I found out that my white blood cell count had dropped to 2.3. And my neurologist had then advised me that he wanted me to stop taking my MS medication, my Gilenya MS medication. So, and mind you, I call myself taking my MS medication before going into my appointment. I tend to take my MS medication at 11 o'clock every morning. And my appointment, I believe my appointment was, well, I tend to take my medication at 11 o'clock every morning. And this particular morning, I took my medication a bit earlier just so, because I know I was going to be in my appointment past that time, and I just wanted to go ahead and take it earlier. So I swallowed my medication before going into the appointment, not knowing that he was going to stop me from taking my MS medication because of my white blood cell count being low. So I took the medication, and when I went in for my appointment, he advised me that he wanted me to stop taking the medication because of my white blood cell count being extremely low. And yeah, he said that I had two options. He said that either I would need to start seeing a hematologist to find out if I had a blood issue or bone marrow issue or something, some type of way he was trying to explain it. to have my bone marrow, or the blood in my bone marrow, something checked, or come off of my MS medication to see if my white blood cell count would come up on its own. And he gave me those two options because he know I do a lot of research, and he know that I tend to come in to his office and would kind of be like, well, what about this? Let's try this, da 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 da. So he wanted to give me some options to, you know, kind of be able to make my own decision, and therefore basically just be able to give me something to go with. And then once I said that I would want to come off the medication, to try that first instead of just going directly to a hematologist, he agreed with me that he would, you know, suggest to get off the medication and see if my white blood cell count would come up as well, instead of just going to the extreme of going to a hematologist first. He then did orders for me to go to the lab every Monday for the next 2 months, which I only did that for a few weeks. I did labs. I did labs. Oh Lord, I did labs 5 times. Well, no, 4 times. I did labs 4 times, basically, to see if my white blood cell count would come up on its own. And I'm losing my train of thought. However it is, let me regroup. I hate when that happens. But we decided to go the route of seeing if my white blood cell count will come up on its own by coming off of the medication, instead of going to a hematologist, and see if there was a correlation of the MS medication and my white blood cell count dropping. So that being said, I did that every Monday by going to the lab. And so my first Monday going to the lab, first of all, I stopped the medication immediately, even though I had took the medication before going into the doctor's office. The next day, that Saturday, I did not take any medication. And so that Monday I took the labs, and then he got my blood work back that Tuesday. He called me and advised me that my blood work came back, and it actually showed that my white blood cell count had dropped to 1.9. Mind you, white blood cell counts should be in the range of 3.4 to, it should be 3.4 to something higher than that. Mine was 1.9, and that was scary to me. So when my white blood cell count had dropped in the beginning to 2.3, I was already walking around with a mask because I was still going to work, and I didn't want to catch a cold or anything from anybody. So it had became scary just to hear that my white blood cell count had dropped to 1.9. So I became worried. I didn't know if I could get sick. Just the idea of walking around like that. So that was week 1. And then I went to thinking about it that I hadn't been off the medication that long. And I had been taking the medication for a whole week prior to learning that I really needed to have come off the medication. So the medicine was fully in my system prior to him telling me that I needed to come off the medication. So by the time I had another week off the medication, I did labs the following Monday again. My white blood cell count had come up to 2.4. So I started feeling pretty good about that. And he called me again the following week, or his nurse called me and said, okay, your numbers are coming up. So following week, just go back to the labs and let's do the blood work again, because your numbers are coming up, so it's looking pretty good. Let's keep doing that, and we'll see, what it's looking like. So the following week after that, I did the blood work again. My numbers came up to 2.9. That week, the doctor himself called me, and he then indicated that apparently that there was a correlation in the medicine and my white blood cell count dropping. So with that being said, he said that that we need to look at getting you back on your MS medication, since it looks like that was the cause of your white blood cell count dropping. And because it's coming up, I think it's safe to say that it is your medication that made it drop. So we could kind of play with it. We know that that was the cause of your white blood cell count to drop. It's up now. So we could go ahead and get you back in observation and get you started back on your medication. Well, I was concerned with getting back on the medication so soon. So I was saying, well, can I just stay off the medication at least another 4 to 6 weeks to make sure that it's all the way up instead of jumping right back on the medication? And he was concerned with me being off the medication for too long and possibly going into relapse. So I said, well, I'd rather stay off the medication for another week or two at least. I'd rather get back into the zone of, I'd rather get back into a safer zone, at least into the 3s of the white blood cell count. And he said, well, let's just do at least one more lab and see where you're at. So when I did another lab, my white blood cell count, it went to like 2.8. And he called me back the following week, and I guess he did some research or whatsoever, and he made up in his mind, instead of putting me back on Gilenia, his decision was to change my medication altogether. He said that it was time to he wanted to change me to Ocrevus. And prior to getting that phone call, about a week before getting the phone call from him in regards to wanting to change my medication, God has spoken to me, reminding me that he had chosen me, that I was strong enough to handle this disease. In the midst of me doing my daily prayers, praying for my family and others, I was interrupted by God letting me know that he had chosen me. And I just had a sense of peace, because I was in turmoil in the past 3 weeks about my white blood cell count being low, and just feeling like, I don't know, just feeling like I just had a lot going on, because in the midst of with the white blood cell count being low, I've also had to deal with the stress of with my memory being I don't know, just being forgetful basically, because when I'm under stress I tend to forget. And in talking to my neurologist, I told him my concerns about that, and so he made me an appointment with the memory disorder clinic. And so in the span of all of this going on, I've also had an appointment at the memory disorder clinic on May 3rd, and went through a series of tests and was diagnosed with anxiety. And I wouldn't want to go through that test again, because that was an all-day series of tests, and a bunch of other things got figured out during that time frame of going through those batteries of tests. But that's neither here nor there right now. But yeah, I got diagnosed with anxiety. When I am under a load of stress, I do tend to forget things. Words become jumbled up when people are talking to me, or it just seems to be a bunch of stuff coming at me. If you may sound like Charlie Brown to me if it's just a bunch going on. So, and I may be getting off track here, but yeah, I had that going on. I also had the issue with my burning feet going on that I had mentioned to the neurologist, and so he made me an appointment to have nerve testing done on my feet at the same time that I had another series of testing to be done. So I had to have another 25 blood, the lab done for 25 blood tests. An order of 25 blood tests done. So they took like 14 valves of blood that had a series of 25 blood disorders within that valve, 14 valves of blood done, ordered in it, like rheumatoid. They look for rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, and a series of other blood disorders. I feel like I'm rambling, excuse me, y'all. But anyway, so I had the nerve testing done. That came back negative for neuropathy, because that's what the doctor was looking for, to see if I had neuropathy. He wanted to rule that out, and so I do not have neuropathy. Now they're going to order an MRI. I'm having an MRI done on Monday, this coming Monday, to see if I could possibly have a lesion on my cervical spine, because I guess that's possible. I have been having the burning, tingling feet for the past 8 months at least. And yeah. So let's see. So yeah, so I'm gonna have that done Monday to find out what's going on with my feet. And I'm still waiting to get approved for the Ocrevus. I hope I'm saying that right. Ocrevus. I'm still waiting for my insurance paperwork to be cleared for that. I did have my labs done because you're supposed to have some blood work done to make sure that you don't have hepatitis B. Because if you're positive for hepatitis B, I guess you can't have the infusion for Ocrevus. And that that blood work came back showing all clear. I don't have hepatitis B. So I'm just waiting for the insurance company to approve my paperwork, and then I can get my infusion, get set up for infusion for the Ocrevus. So let's see what else. Basically, I think that's about it as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, otherwise I'm feeling good. I haven't had no other issues. Just waiting to get started on my new medication, and I hope that I don't have any side effects from the new medication. I've been studying up on the new medication. I see that some people get infusion reactions from the medication, and they do start you off with 2 separate doses. I think it's a week apart or 2 weeks apart. And then after those 2 separate infusions, then you start getting the medication every 6 months. So I won't be taking a daily dose of medication. I'll be taking medication every 6 months. So that's a plus, but I don't know how I truly feel about this medication just yet, because I wasn't having any side effects from Gilenya, no more than my white blood cell count dropping. With this Ocrevus, there is a list of side effects that could possibly go on, but Lord willing, I won't have any of these side effects. I'm not too keen about the steroids that they have to give you initially, and because they give you like a certain amount of steroid at the beginning of the infusion, and then they give you a certain amount of Benadryl, and then they give you the Ocrevus infusion. And the whole process could last anywhere. Well, you're at the infusion center anywhere from, I guess, like 5 to 6 hours. And so ultimately, I'm just not too keen about the steroid part of it, period. I just don't care about the steroids. So we're gonna see. This is gonna be new to me, so we'll see. I don't know. Y'all pray for me. I'm just ready to get this over with, get past this initial part and get used to it, and then it just be like the norm. because I was just so used to taking my pill and just, you know, just being used to it, just and not having what I would feel like no side effects. But hopefully I'll be all right. I just have to pray on it and let everything be good. We'll see. So hopefully I don't take too long to do my next video, and this upload works, and we'll see. I feel like I'm rusty. I just really feel like I'm rusty. Y'all forgive me that this video if it's too out of whack or whatsoever. Yeah, I got to get back in the swing of things. So I'll come back with another update. I hope I don't take too long to come back with another update. But I'll update you all as soon as I can. Bear with me. I'll let you all know when I get approved, and stay tuned. Love y'all. Bye.